Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Metis Warrior here with Timothy and Alexandria.
Hello everybody.
So as you know, this is our new channel on YouTube. If you're listening to this show on YouTube, we have many different platforms out there. And go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that you can stay updated every time that we release a new show. Now, as you know, Metis Warrior Media Group has broke a lot of stories over the last 2 years. We were the ones instrumental in a lot of exposing of a lot of corruption out there over the last 2 years. And so actually going on almost, well, a little bit over 2 years. But we got hacked. And so because we got hacked, we had to rebuild our platforms. So that is why we had to start over on this channel. And so this is where the shows will be, plus other different platforms as well as backups. But as you know, we cover corruption and we expose corruption. And in today's show, we're going to talk about the Indigenous Republic of Kanata.
And it's actually the Indigenous Republic of Kanata Cooperative, or some of you may know it as IRC as well. And it's run by Daniel Poirier, or D. Poirier Bona, who is currently residing in Alberta, and he is originally from out east.
Yeah, and that's very important because now he's with CAPS, and I'm just kind of giving y'all a little bit of introduction here, and we're gonna bring everything to you in more detail. But just to, you know, he is originally from the east. But let's understand this: there's been groups in the east fighting for rights and recognition for years now. So this guy somehow or another gets in with CAPS. And so once he gets in with CAPS, what does he try to do? He tries to pull in people from the east to get into CAPS. Now let's understand, CAPS in Alberta is geared specifically and only for Alberta. Now this guy is promising recognition for people in the east, which he cannot deliver. Now make no mistake about it, he cannot deliver that. But what seems like he now has plans to move back to the east, and his goal would be obviously to knock out some of those other organizations that have managed to gain a lot of members there, and so now push them out of the way, take their members. Now let's keep in mind, Daniel Poirier is very friendly with Gregory Burke. Gregory Burke is known to try to steal members and bring them to the Atlantic Aboriginal Nation. They are a fraudulent group. Daniel Poirier has publicly aligned himself with Gregory Burke many times, supported Gregory Burke on doing lateral damage and smear campaigns on the Acadian Facebook page that Daniel runs. So, yeah, let's get down into it and start really breaking it down here. Some of the schemes and how this guy was able to land himself into CAPS, Alberta.
So just a little bit of background information. Indigenous Republic of Kanata Cooperative was incorporated, and it's incorporated as a cooperative, and that's the key word. January 23rd, 2020. In the show, you'll see the screenshot. Their incorporated papers, Indigenous Republic of Kanata in Cooperative, and their certificate of in cooperation.
Now let's understand this. Again, like the Atlantic Aboriginal Nation, who was able to register themselves as a non-profit, they're not registered and recognized Indigenous non-profit. The AN is not, but they have that name Aboriginal in their title, so people will mistakenly think, oh, this is a registered Indigenous organization. It's the same thing where it comes to Indigenous Republic of Kanata. Please do not be fooled. They put the title Indigenous in their name. Okay, let's understand that. In their name, and then got registered as a co-op. Now, we know that they're taking in white people, full-blood. I mean, anybody can join the Indigenous Republic of Kanata. So why would they use the name Indigenous? Because they know the Canadian government's throwing money. There's a lot of money coming towards anybody that's in the recognized Indigenous organization. They are not, I repeat, not a recognized Indigenous organization. They are not. No, they are a recognized co-op who has an indigenous name, and that's very misleading right there. I mean, as it is.
So again, it's like two peas in a pod. Gregory Burke was caught or found guilty of misleading clients in his business, and here it would appear that Daniel Poirier with Indigenous Republic of Kanata Cooperative is now misleading people as well. And sort of a little bit of a background, and if you go to the Government of Canada website, and it's www.ic.gc.ca, and it gives the various kinds of cooperatives that can be registered with the Government of Canada. There's a financial cooperative and like credit unions, and this is going to fall into it. Mutual companies are considered a financial cooperative. There's retail cooperatives, which is food, hardware, clothing. Service cooperatives like water supply, natural gas, cable TV, a producer cooperative, farm supply, arts and crafts, worker cooperatives like agro-grow, natural food, education, and as well a multi-stakeholder cooperative, and it's home care services, and here's another key word, health services. So again, you'll see that as well in that the listings of the various cooperatives with the government of Canada in regards to that as well. And again,
so hold on, let me put it before we move on. Let's understand now. I'm saying they're using the name Indigenous in their name, and that is to mislead people, to make them think that they are a recognized Indigenous organization. They are not a recognized Indigenous organization that can give you any kind of rights with the government and things of that nature. So let's understand that, okay? And let me put it in perspective for you. You can start anybody. You can get your friend's car, live out of the trunk of a car, and start an organization and register an organization with the title. Let me just give you an example. All right, the little green men of Mars Association. Okay, so would that be a recognized alien, official alien association by the government? No, but you can register an organization in that name because you can use the names, and those names are misleading. So the Indigenous Republic of Kanata, that is just trickery to make you think, oh, this co-op is registered as an Indigenous and recognized as an Indigenous organization, and they are not recognized as an Indigenous organization. They just have that in their title.
And you'll see too that we'll show in the show a September 5th screenshot, and it's from the Atlantic Aboriginal Nation, where they're congratulating Daniel Poirier for becoming part of sitting on the board. He was elected to sit on the board of CAP. And as Timothy mentioned earlier, Daniel Poirier also has a Facebook group, the Acadian Metis are past, present, and that was created November 6, 2016, and that's going to tie in as well.
And let me bring that back up again, okay? Because let's show you the true face of Daniel Poirier. This man allows, on the Acadian page, smear campaigns to be done. He allows lies to be posted. He supports people that are involved in fraudulent activities, such as Gregory Burke. It's clear if anybody's been to that Facebook page, they'll see that. But he allows this guy to post fraudulent things. And so we got to understand this is the true face of Daniel Poirier. It's kind of like politicians give out lollipop and kiss babies, right? That's what politicians do. Let's understand that Daniel Poirier is all about the money. Okay? They won't, matter of fact, and I know Alexandra's going to get into this in a little bit, but ARC's asking for $25 a month. Yet they ain't going to do a damn thing for you until 2023, I believe. So for 3 years, they want you to pay $25 a month for absolutely nothing, folks. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
And you know what you're going to see as well, and this is a screenshot from January 31st from, and he's also known as D. Poirier Bona, on again the Acadian Metis are past, present, and page where he's, and this, just digest this because I just literally choked on this, and this is what Daniel Poirier is saying. In order to advance our people, and you can read it more at your own leisure, it says Daniel Poirier has said that he has partnered with all Western Metis and First Nations to create the Indigenous Republic of Kanata Cooperative. Excuse me? You partnered with all Western Metis and First Nations? What kind of scam is that?
Scam, folks. Again, misleading the people. He's partnered with all. Can anybody say bullshit? So repeat after me. Bullshit. That is what you've just heard. That quote from Daniel Poirier, and that is the truth, folks. That is nothing but BS, and I don't prefer to cuss or like to cuss, but that is a moment where it was warranted. Bullshit.
Well, also, he's really going into the deep end, and at the bottom of the screenshot, he's saying that members will buy shares at $1 each at a minimum contribution, a gain of $25 per month, and he's telling you these funds will be matched with government and corporate sponsorship to create wealth across Canada in all our Indigenous communities. Absolutely. I just don't even know what to say.
What they're counting on is they're counting on you to be stupid, and you can't fall into their little traps, okay? They're counting on the people out there to be stupid. So what they do is they throw up a registration thing. Of course, it has Indigenous in the name. A lot of people may think that they're a recognized Indigenous organization through the Canadian government, and no, they're just a recognized co-op. And so that's a whole different ball game. They're not out for the good of the Indigenous people at all. Let's understand that. And so, yeah, it's just misleading again by the quote of saying, by him saying that he's working with all Métis and First Nations. That's again to mislead people to get the quick cash. And so let's understand that.
Well, again, he said he's partnered with all Western Métis. I don't know anything about it. I'm a Western Métis, and he hasn't partnered with me or any group in the West that I know of. So, I mean, that's news to me. And then we're going to go into...
Recognize the BS, but yeah... And so, no, he's not with all Métis and First Nation. Go ahead.
And then, you know, you're going to see a February 12th screenshot. And again, I had to just choke this down. And it was posted on the IRC, the Indigenous Republic of Kanata Facebook page by Daniel, where he's saying, and I'm not going to read this whole load of garbage because I just can't stomach it, where he said, and he says that Karole Dumont of the MNOC as true leaders. Well, I thought Gregory Burke, Karole Dumont was an arch enemy of Gregory Burke. Well, so how does that what the heck is going on there?
Let me go ahead and clarify that for you. Okay, now let me see the screenshot. I know you didn't want to read the whole thing, but here's the thing. He listed some people in here in his quote about who's true leaders, right? Okay, yeah, I don't even want to read that either. But one of the things that he didn't list, one of the names that he did not list is Gregory Burke. You know, why did he not list Gregory Burke? Because Gregory Burke's behind the scenes with Daniel Poirier. Daniel recognizes that Greg Burke is not a true leader. Hell, he's not even Métis. And so he feels like he's going to list the people that he's trying to butter up and take their membership. And it's a screw job, folks. It's a screw job in the works right there. Okay, so yeah, they're definitely plotting something. And Gregory Burke is associated with Daniel Poirier in the background, behind the scenes. We've proven that before. There's a reason why Daniel Poirier is supporting Gregory Burke. We'll get more into that in a future show. But what I want to tell you is this. The fact that he listed people that he's out for the membership. Okay, he can, and Daniel knows that he can end up taking these members if he can get these people to join with them. And he knows that. He will turn on them quicker. If you don't think see what his personality is, look at the Acadian Facebook page that he runs, and you'll see what his personality is and how he commits lateral violence against Metis he does not agree with.
And again, I'm going to show a February 1st screenshot, and again, this is on the ERC Facebook page by Daniel Poirier, and I'm not going to read all this garbage, but this is the key fact at the very bottom of that screenshot, and it says, and this is misleading again, one card across Canada, no matter if you are First Nation, Métis, or Inuit, for the people, by the people first. How can you promise one card across Canada? What power, or that's not even, you're not even legally able to do that.
Well, first off, it's very clear the Indigenous Republic of Kanata is actually an organization that's taking in all types of people. So it's not just, they're not just trying to go after Indigenous members. Why would they be going after all nationalities? Because it's all about the money. Again, going back to the $25 a month. And so, you know, they don't care who the money comes from, basically. So they're not going to be able to do anything from you. Now they're promising you a card, just the one card for all of Canada. What does that tell you? That tells you that they want to swallow up these other groups that's been fighting for rights, especially in the East. They want to swallow them up, spit them out, and actually be the sole people in control of the money that would be coming in.
And folks, you've got to understand that ERC, Daniel Poirier, does not have the legal power to say one card is good right across Canada. They are not federally recognized as an Indigenous organization to wield that kind of power. Misleading, misleading, misleading. And we're going to go into where Daniel Poirier proudly says that he's a board member of the Aboriginal Congress of Alberta, folks.
And so what's really going on with the Aboriginal Congress of Alberta? I know that y'all probably wanting us to do a show on that. We're still in the works on that as well, because we've been diving into a lot of things that's going on there. One of the things that we were interested in was, has Daniel Poirier even proved his genealogy? Or did they just make him a board member for the Aboriginal Congress of Canada? Did they just make him a board member? Does he have proven genealogy? And if they just made him a board member, or let's say even he has proven genealogy, knowing what he's plotting and planning, what is the real motivation of them putting him on the board? So there's got to be something here that's deeper than what people are seeing right now.
And folks, I need you to understand, you'll see this in a screenshot as well. The Aboriginal Congress of Alberta Association, they have a Facebook group, and it says clearly, and you'll see that in the screenshot, that they are dedicated to improving the quality of life for all Aboriginal people, First Nation, Métis, non-status, Inuit, living off reserve in Alberta. So this group is for Alberta only, folks. Absolutely only for Alberta as well. And we're going to go into something again, and like I said, the swamp just gets deeper and deeper and deeper with Daniel Poirier, ERC. I mean, there's so many things going on here. I'm even getting mixed up with the timeline, because it's all a fallacy, it's all a fraud, and it's all really misleading people. And you're going to see something dated from July 29th. Again, this is on the Indigenous Republic of Kanata ERC Facebook page. And Daniel Poirier is telling everybody, it's time for us to all align with our CAP affiliates on a provincial level. And it's time to go national with Métis rights instead of aligning with organizations that are constantly diminishing rights, etc. So he's wanting feedback. They want to have the same rights like First Nation people.
No, what they want to do is they want to take the money. They want to control the money. These people right now, CAPS, they need to get rid of Daniel Poirier, point blank. He needs to be out of there. He's already all over social media showing his schemes right through. I mean, you can see right through these schemes that he's plotting. So there's got to be other people that's involved on that board in Alberta that's actually has schemes with them as well, corruption that lies within, and that's something that would be for a different show, because as long as they're associating with Daniel Poirier, and we know Poirier is in with Gregory Burke. There is definitely some severe issues here. This organization is nothing but just wanting the money. Carolyn Bennett and to the Canadian government, my word to you is this: do not give this organization any type of funding at all, because they are lying. They do not represent all Métis. They do not represent all First Nations. This is a lie. We have Métis organizations out there, okay? There may be corruptions within. We've been trying to correct that. CAPS is really showing themselves to be shady by putting Poirier on there. Daniel Poirier, post your genealogy online. Post your genealogy online. So if you are can prove yourself Métis, Indigenous, whatever, post your genealogy online. That is what we want to see. Post it online. Also, here's a question to you, Daniel Poirier. Why are you allowing smear campaigns on one of the Facebook pages that you're running? That is a question to you. Just because it shows your true face. It shows who you truly are. You're involved with people that are committing fraud, Daniel Poirier. And so, show your genealogy. And even if you could prove your genealogy, show it. That would not prove that you are honest and for the Indigenous people.
And folks, this will show you clear as day on September 8th. The Atlantic Aboriginal Nation breached privacy violation by posting our ID photos on their group. But the most shocking thing, and you'll see the date on the screenshot, September 9th, Irk and Daniel Poirier, or Bona, whatever the hell his name is, posted the smear campaign from the AAN, breached privacy violations by posting our ID photos. So clearly, Irk, Daniel Poirier, is in bed with Greg Burke and the Atlantic Aboriginal Nation. There is no doubt. That screenshot says it in itself right there, folks. And also on that Acadian Facebook page that Daniel runs on September 5th, this is what Daniel says, and you'll see it for yourself. I will work hard to give us from the East a voice. So what does that say, folks?
That shows right there his plot and plans to go in and take over the East. And he wants to be in control because he thinks funding is coming down pretty soon. He's not the one that's fought for this funding. Let's make no mistake about it. It's been other organizations that's done it. It's been Métis Warrior that's done it. But he wants to step in. It reminds me of someone who's, let's say, if people are familiar with baseball, and you have a team that plays 8 innings, and the one team is winning, and here all of a sudden you have a player wanting to get in the game. And so here you go. Now he wants to step in on the East because he wants to be at ground zero for taking that money that's going to come in for the East. Make no mistake about it. And he has not put any effort into fighting for it at all, the way that these other organizations in the East have. The hours and hours involved in that. The hours and years the Métis Warrior has done it. And so, I mean, this guy right here, yeah, this is shadiness. They misleading people, and the schemes are just showing through and through.
And folks, you'll see another screenshot dated September 15th from the Irk Indigenous Republic of Kanata Facebook page, again by Daniel. And he's saying that Irk is looking to sign MOUs with the Congress of Aboriginal Peoples affiliates, and what they want to do, clearly he says you'll have dual status. Well, why would you need dual status when he said previously that with the Irk card you only need one card? So why do you now need September 15th dual status, again to boost both organizations' membership and recognition? So again, that's false, misleading. When he had said earlier with the Irk card you only need one card, but now with the Irk and the Congress of Aboriginal Peoples you'll have dual status. What the hell does that mean?
Again, the trickery keeps getting deeper and deeper, because when you talk about status, the Indigenous Republic of Kanata is not a recognized Indigenous organization. This is another attempt to mislead people and confuse people fraudulent activities just rampant. Although it is a co-op, a registered co-op, keep in mind the trickery. Not a recognized indigenous organization, only a co-op, not a recognized indigenous organization. How in the hell can they promise status? Yeah, what the hell does that mean? I mean, I think it's pretty clear out there. This is just another organization that's out for the money, and it's out to do screw jobs on the indigenous people. And so I think that's very clear. And so, yeah.
And then he mentions again October 1st where he's asking for any Metis living in Alberta. If so, he can help you join the Aboriginal Congress of Alberta Association. Again, they're promoting membership, and it gives you recognition from the government.
Why in the hell would you want to join their organization when Daniel Poirier is a part of it? So, no, that's not the right alternative, folks. I mean, Daniel Poirier has casted nothing but doubt and shade and a lot of questions about CAPS Alberta right now.
And you know what? On October 2nd as well, Daniel Poirier says the Congress of Aboriginal Peoples has elected a new national chief, and the national chief is Chief Elmer St. Pierre, and Daniel looks forward to working with him in the next 4 years. You know what? Chief Elmer St. Pierre, I would be very leery working with Daniel Poirier for violating Privacy Act violation, misleading people.
Yeah, misleading people. That's the biggest issue. Sharing private information online and part of smear campaigns. I mean, this is not a guy that's right for CAPS Alberta. And so, but he's probably either, and this is my opinion, Daniel's probably bought his way in, and maybe he's thinking it's a short-term investment into getting members and ultimately gaining control. That was my personal opinion as far as him buying his way in. But I really believe that that's probably the thing here. I would like to know what his genealogy says he is.
Well, you know what, talking about genealogy, we're going to go right into showing you, this was right on the Indigenous Republic of Kanata on Facebook, where how do I become a citizen of the Indigenous Republic of Kanata? And they say it's simple. If you have Indigenous ancestry within Canada, you can fill out the application. Please also provide a copy of your family tree. Why don't they just say genealogy? That's the proper terminology. And a passport photo. And it says then you can decide to become a part of our society, which has a lot of benefits, or a part of the cooperative, which has even more benefits and includes
more benefits. The cooperative has more benefits. You're not doing a damn thing for 3 years. And you're telling people that you can join the cooperative and it has more benefits. Now that's a bunch of BS. Not just that, but also they're letting non-indigenous join. So again, I mean, this guy, he doesn't know which way's up. This is a bunch of misleading BS, folks.
And we also mentioned, again, Timothy mentioned it earlier, on a previous show about IRC, we showed you where if you go to the IRC website at that time, they are in an incubation period until 2023. And again, you can join IRC as a cooperative member for $25 a month.
And it doesn't matter if you're Indigenous or not. That's the thing. And they're contradicting their own self. How do you become a member? Blah blah blah. And now, but you can come to IRC. I mean, IRC doesn't matter. They just want to know, can you pay the $25 a month? I mean, hell, how many people out there actually want to pay $25 a month to an organization that won't even do anything for 3 years? And then this guy's getting ready to move. So he's getting ready to relocate from Alberta back east, going back east. Do you really want to give these people money?
And you know what, folks? If you do a Google search on the Indigenous Republic of Kanata, you'll see their website information. And since we've done our show, the most shocking thing that I want everybody to be made aware of, I did a recent Google search, and you'll see it for yourself in a screenshot, is saying Indigenous Republic of Kanata is no longer available. The authors have deleted this site.
The authors have deleted this site. Wow. Then it says it right there. The authors have deleted this site. Wow. Yeah, I mean, how much money have they already taken in before they decided, and this is kind of like a glimpse into the future here. Yeah, let's take in as much money as they can in Alberta area, and then they're going to move, and then sites are going to be deleted and stuff like that. So you got to wonder. I mean, with the case of us, we got hacked. I mean, we actually got hacked. Our accounts were hacked. But, you know, here, the author took down the site. So they're closing up shop for whatever reason. And actually, they started decreasing their visibility right after we did a show on them on the last channel that we had. And that's when they really started closing up the visibility on things. But what I find interesting, too, and I kind of like to throw in here, is Burke. So Burke has offered a lady an ID card for free. And the lady responds back and she says, "You don't even know my genealogy." Now, that's par for the course, but that's what we've been talking about with people like the Atlantic Aboriginal Nation as well for a while. These are the people that's behind Daniel Poirier. Make no mistake about it, folks. These are the people that are just trying to get numbers and ultimately get money from you.
And it's interesting, the lady that was inquiring, her inquiry was posted on the Acadian Metis, Our Past and Present, and Gregory Burke had told her for all her trouble, he would just give her a card. And again, she came back and said, "Well, you don't even know my genealogy." So this is the kind of fraudulent behavior that Daniel Poirier is allowing, and he's actually sanctioning this because he's keeping the information up where you just giving cards, and you just need one card right across Canada. So I mean,
AN's been involved in fraud for quite some time. And we've proven that in other shows. You can go back and rewatch that. But now we're talking about IRC, and you know they're kind of closely related, very similar. And they got the Indigenous in their title, but it's to mislead people to make you think that they're recognized through the Canadian government as an actual Indigenous organization. That is not what it says on their paperwork. That is a way to mislead you.
So, folks, it'll be interesting. Like I said, rumor has it on the Bannock Trail that Daniel Poirier is heading back east shortly. It's interesting how he'll be able to sit as a board member of the Aboriginal Congress of Alberta Association when this organization is supposed to improve the quality of life for all Aboriginal people, First Nation, Métis, non-status, and Inuit living off reserve in Alberta. I guess you can live in another province and still be involved with helping people in another province. Like I said, IRC, Indigenous Republic of Kanata, Cooperative, shady, and the swamp just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and we've shown you proof that certainly Daniel Poirier is literally in bed with Gregory Burke and the Atlantic Aboriginal Nation Association, two peas in the pod, really trying to mislead people about Métis rights and recognition. And it seems like the almighty dollar, it's not about the people, it's all about how much money you can get for the people.
That's it for me.
Take care.